this video, we're going to look at creating some hard surface shapes, and we're going to use the tools that we've been looking at throughout this beginner series. We've looked at some hard surface shapes already, like the sci-fi gun, and we've looked at some more organic type shapes, such as the dinosaur project. The next videos, we'll look at building out some shapes that we can start to investigate all these tools and more. So let's start off and use our 2D primitives here. And you can see it places the first one in our list across here, which is this square. I don't want the square, I want to use this one here. And in the tool options for this, I'm going to deselect uniform division. That just gives me more control over these input values here. So first of all, this object is facing in the wrong direction. The normals are facing in the Z axis, and I want them facing in the Y direction. So I'm going to click on this option here, press spacebar and say 90 degrees. And then now it's facing in the Y direction, as we can see here. Next, I want to create some more divisions on here. So I'm going to go into my sectors here, and I'm going to change this to 16. And I'm going to decrease the wall thickness of this object and just say apply. I'm going to snap to my Y view, so I'm looking straight down on that circle, and you can see my object is still active here, my primitive object. So I'm now going to slide a new one over to this side over here. And what I'll do with this one is I'll just shrink this one down, but I'll keep the sectors the same on this one as well. So with that done, I'm just going to say apply and change the tool. So now I've got these two rings. So next I'm going to use my select tool, and I'm going to just delete these faces that are on the inside of the rings here and here. So I'll just hit delete. Now I'll change to edges, and I'll select this edge first. Let's move a little bit closer. I'll select this edge, zoom out again, move into this one, and select this edge as well. And then I'll hit spacebar and bridge. I don't need any other divisions in this, just one. So it's just bridged between those two edges, and that's okay for now. And let's repeat that here. I'm going to select this one and this one, spacebar, bridge, and just say okay. Next, I'm going to select the layer where these polys are located at the moment. So they're located on poly group 1. And I'm going to hit this little icon here to select all the polygons on this particular layer. I'll move over to more of a side view here. I'll hit spacebar, transform, and I get the gizmo. And all I'm going to do now is commit an extrusion upwards. So I'll just click and drag. So I don't want to stop there, but I do want to put a division in this row of polygons here. So I'm going to hit another extrusion, which will give me a division, and then I'm going to continue to extend a little bit higher up here. That's fine. I'll hit escape to drop the tool, and now I've got something like this. Now at the moment we've got this ghosted view, and it's a little bit difficult to see, and I've also got my light source that's in the wrong direction. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to increase the opacity of these polygons, because at the moment they were set at 65%. And I'm also going to just move my light source around here. So I'm just going to choose brush tool, and I'm going to hold shift, and I'm just going to left click and drag just to move the light source, just so it makes it a little bit clearer for you, the viewer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my split rings tool here. If I hold shift down in the center, it will do a 50% cut down this face. If I move to the left, it will do half of that. And that's roughly where I want to put my next split. So I'm just going to hold shift and left click to split this polygon here into two. Let's go over to the other side and do the same thing, holding shift, and that gives me a split on both sides. Next, I'm going to use select faces, and I'm going to select these faces around here. And let's use a different tool here to extrude. So I'm going to hit spacebar, and I'm going to use this tool down here called Smart Extrude. Now Smart Extrude gives me the option to extrude along a normal, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to click this little N here and extrude those outwards. something like that. Let's escape to drop the tool, Control D to drop the selection. So now I've got something like this. So moving on, let's select these faces here around this side, and I'm going to just move these over to the left. So using my transform, I'm just going to slide those over to the left side like that. Drop the tool. So now I'm going to click on these one face here and double click on the next one to select that whole loop. Spacebar, transform, and I'm just going to extrude this up one more time. So let's say commit extrusion and drag that extrusion up just to give us a little bit more height. Escape to drop the tool. Now what I'm going to do is just delete the internal polygons of this. I no longer need them. So I'm just going to click and double click around to select that loop, and the same again with the next row, and that should have selected all of them, and then I'm going to hit delete. So that gives me now that nice shell. So now I'm going to cap this back part with some polygons. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. And I'll use the points to polys tool on here, and I'm going to make sure that my on plane checkbox is ticked here. So let's go to the top view, and I'm going to right click to say this is the plane that I want to work in, which is where these polygons are. And now I'm just going to drop a vertex point where I want my next vertex to be. And you can see that it's now placed that on the correct plane of these polygons for me. So I'll put another one in, roughly there, and now I can hover over these and 3DCoat will try to place a polygon in there for me. So I will choose this one and I will left click to place that polygon in there, left click again. Let's put another one down there and left click again. So let's do two more vertices here. Right click, and then fill those in. Now don't worry if these vertices are not aligned. Let's use our select. I'm just going to select these vertices that I've just created here. You can see they're not quite aligned, but that's okay. We can come down here to align vertices and make sure that we are aligning in the Z axis, which is this axis here. And I'll just say apply and OK. And now they're all in a nice straight line. And we can do the same now for this next row here. Just repeat that process. I'll use the points to polys tool again, and I'll choose this axis here, this plane here, and I'll put some points in line with these here. And now I can just right click again and start to place these polygons here. And I'll just left click, and let's add two more here, left click, left click, left click. And again, select your vertices and we can line those up using the align vertices tool here in the Z axis. Apply, OK, and drop the selection. So that cleans that section up there. So now I want to create an opening in the right side of this object here, and I'm going to use my 2D primitive again, the same one, this circular shape here. You can see that it put that same object in the same place as it did before, but I want this circle now to be located at the top here, and I don't want to manually move that because it's going to be difficult to exactly get that in the right place. So the first thing I'll do is, first of all, let's just turn off the uniform divisions and create our 16 sector division again. So let's just accept that. And I'm going to use this little checkbox here, click to place. And once I do that, I'll get back to my model here, and then I will just right click on this one of these polygons here to place the object exactly where I need it. Now you can't see anything at the moment because it's pointing in the wrong direction. So you can see it's down there, really small. So let's just scale that up. And we can reduce the wall thickness again. We don't need it quite that thick. something like that. And again, we've got the issue where the normals are now facing in the wrong direction. So we need to make them face in the positive Y here, upwards. So I'll snap to my side view, left click on this little icon here, press spacebar and enter a value of 180 degrees to just flip that right the way around like that. So now I've got my opening here positioned where I need it. I can move that around, but you can see that now it's on exactly the same plane as these top polygons here, which is really useful. So I'm going to accept that now. Just hit apply and it places that object there. In part 2, we will finalize our model and use Live Smooth to prep the model for rendering. See you next time.